Hey guys, I'm just flying my Mustang out, and I am completely stock at the moment. I have absolutely zero upgrades, but that's okay. The game has decided for some reason that the Focke-Wulf 190A5 is apparently the devil, and it's put me up against pretty much a full team of ME410s and 190A5s, which is among the worst matchmaking that I've ever seen the Germans get, and the Germans aren't exactly renowned for good matchmaking. I'll give you a hint, 262s almost exclusively fight Sabres, Panthers, and P-80s. Well, F-80s. I mean, so this isn't exactly a fair fight if I was fully upgraded. If I was fully upgraded, I'd just slaughter this guy. Thing is, I'm completely stock. And this is a situation people often find themselves in a Zoom fighter. There's someone slower than them, but that person won't leave far enough away from them for them to get clear and be able to turn around. And that leaves you with several choices. And one of them is to do what I've done, which is just keep running away until the guy turns off. Which I personally don't like doing, and I was about to show you one of the alternatives, but he decided he was going to turn off, so I guess I get the easy route. Be very careful with the Mustang, even when it's not stock. You have to be very careful with this plane at low speeds. This plane does not like flying. It actually greatly prefers stalling rather than flying. But here we go. That guy just made a colossal mistake. With him pressuring me from behind, he was keeping himself safe. I couldn't turn around to attack him without ending up in a head-on with a 190, which is a pretty nice way to end up dead. Although I think he might be running low on fuel, maybe. I got 29 minutes still. They force the Mustang to start with 45 minutes of fuel, while most other planes get to start with a much lighter 20 minutes of fuel, which has the downside of making the Mustang's climb rate quite poor early in the game when you need a good climb rate. Which does kind of suck for the Mustang. It is kind of nice though. At this point in time, I have 28 minutes. He probably started with 20 minutes. So I still, if he were to land and take off again, I'd end up with the fuel time advantage anyway. Who goes there? Seriously, who the hell goes there? Alright, I'm gonna dive down on there. I just want to see what that is. I also want to pick up speed to get out of range of their flak. For a second, I thought I was high enough that their AA guns wouldn't shoot at me. Clearly I was wrong. Just gonna use the Mustang's dive speed to get clear of their airfield as quick as I can. Also get close enough I can spot what the hell's happening down here. Yeah, it looks like one of the German pilots just landed and is dilling around down there. I really don't want to stay too close to there. Oh, it's a 190 that crashed. Gonna loop on this guy while I have the energy to do a loop, and then I'm gonna dive and try and get that. The 410's not a threat. I can lead with the 410. I can outrun him. I can do everything to him. There's just not a threat to me as long as I don't let him. This 190 sort of is. The other 190 that crashed is gonna end up repairing, and I'm gonna try and shoot him down on takeoff. Right there. What can I say? I'm an asshole. Gave him a nice shot, denied him that nice shot, and I'm making a run from the airfield. Not actually running from him, but that's a nice side effect. I'm really trying to get out of the AA, which means get rid of all this altitude. Knock it off, guys. Going into the riverbed. Alright, that was a cheap kill, to say the very least. So me and him are going to end up in a turn fight. I've already tried turn fighting this guy before. I wouldn't necessarily recommend fighting an A5 in a turn fight, but the A5 does turn worse than the doors, and the Mustang can match the doors, so in theory I have the advantage. Also, as I said, I've turn fought him personally, and that specific pilot that's chasing me right now, his idea of a turn fight is to just hard horizontal turn. And that is not the way that a 190 is going to beat a Mustang. Alright, now this is a dangerous situation for a Mustang to be in, because I'm going to end up in a head-on pass with a 190, but I'm going to end up in that head-on pass at speed. And the Mustang performs very well at speed. The 190 also does, but I don't need to outperform him too much to be able to beat him in this. Alright, that was a clever move on his part. He's going to end up with a bit of an energy advantage, but I have the huge angle advantage. How huge? So huge, I'm right behind him, but I'm already stalled. Yep. So this is the point where, being in your Mustang, you have to be extremely careful. Mustang doesn't maneuver well. I'm turning into him to keep his guns off me. See? I'm going to make him do a full turn now to try and chase me. Which means he's going to end up bleeding speed. See, he's practically at 0 speed up there. He does have the altitude. Does he have the overall energy? We're going to find out. Nope. I do. I also have fuel on him still. He still hasn't landed. And I don't mind going one-on-one with him. See him going to low altitude to try and catch me? That was a huge mistake on his part. Absolutely massive. By doing that, my top speed is going to give me the energy advantage, because he's going to end up slowing down to his top speed while I accelerate to my top speed. That fucking flak going over this way now. Oh, nope, the A5 is catching the Mustang. I mean, I have well over 100, well, I am stock. But I do have well over 100 mile per hour speed advantage if I wasn't stock, so this shouldn't be a hard fight. It's going to end up being a hard fight, though, because I'm stock. I'm still even stock. I'm pretty sure I can outturn him. I just need to get him off my tail, which is difficult to do. See him diving again? You won't win a Mustang in a dive fight, dude. He's closing right now because he dived first, so he picked up speed first. But what we're doing is, I'm diving with him, so he can't gain enough speed on me to catch me. And then as he starts to zoom climb, is he going to start to zoom climb? Or is he going to waste all his ammo? Well, I'm going to start my zoom climb. Well, it's not a zoom climb. I'm pretty sure I can sustain a 5-degree climb. Oh, God. This game and its ridiculously small little map areas. I'd like more distance between us. So yeah, I'm going to commit to distance. Which means I'm going to dive, pick up some speed. Gonna get some distance between them, then I'm gonna do, I don't know, I don't want to do a vertical reversal, I'd rather do a split S. But I just need about a mile and a half separation between us to make this work. More would clearly be, I mean, if I could get a 5-mile separation between them, I'd take that. But a mile and a half is all I'm gonna need. Don't start climbing yet. I'm gonna start climbing. You see where my lift vector is? It's up at about 2 degrees, which means I'm actually in a 2-degree climb. You can see my altitude gaining. But I'm not losing speed, and I'm gaining distance and altitude. This is almost perfect. And this is sort of what you want to do in a Mustang. Hopefully he keeps climbing. Alright, I really shouldn't be doing this one-on-one. I should be trying to help my teammates. But I do have the fuel advantage on this guy, so he's the one that has to get me, so he's the one feeling the pressure. And that's one of the most important things you can do on a Mustang, is stay patient. Wait for him to make a mistake. He stayed low, staying fast to keep the distance between us down. But the longer he stays down there, the more I'm going to accelerate up here. The more our energy differential is going to grow. The more energy I'm going to have on him. I can dive to convert that energy to speed, get the separation I need, or I can just split S and go head on with him right now. I will have the energy advantage. And I can possibly turn that into a kill. It's going to be difficult though, but I do have 200 miles per hour. The Mustang turns well at this speed. Alright, it's definitely not now or never. I have time, but I'm going to try this anyway. And up to the left, up to the right. And now we're going to go into a hard loop. The Mustang doesn't loop well, so it's important to get what altitude on him you can while you can. In that early loop, then we're going to end up in a low speed horizontal fight at this altitude. And the Mustang wins in a low speed horizontal fight. If I can aim. And now I'm not following him low, I'm following him high. I want to maintain my energy advantage, so I need to stay above him. So I can't dive to gain speed, unless he's going to make a run for it. If he's going to make a run for it, then I will dive to gain speed. I'm in a Mustang, dude. Are you expecting to outrun me? So what I just did there was actually a pretty good example of a reversal. That I didn't do it perfectly. It really worked because he was dumb enough to let me do it. Unfortunately for him, I have a huge amount of ammo. I just need to get my lead set. Or learn how to aim. Alright, don't, up. Definitely don't go down. If I would have, this is my personal favorite way to not overshoot people. It did give him an opening to start a turn fight though, but he exploited it terribly wrong. Terribly wrong, dude. Don't go back to the, keep going right. If you go back to the left, you're gonna give me more than you already have. I said don't go back to the right. If I was a better shot, this guy would be dead so long ago. It turns out I'm not a good shot. But going this high roll that I'm doing, that's my personal favorite way to prevent myself from overshooting. It's not the best, but when you're in a straight line chase like we are, it's my personal favorite. And it's what I would recommend doing. See him crabbing sideways? Oh, and he's going down. Alright, there we go. That was a nice, fun little one. So long story short, if you're in a slower plane, don't even try to do a straight line run like he did. He basically realized he couldn't beat me in a turn fight. I'm not necessarily sure if that's the planes or if that was just us as pilots. I'm a pretty good turn fighter in the Mustang, meaning I know its strengths pretty well, so I can press them into their disadvantages reasonably well, but I don't know. I think that was more his inexperience than my experience that got me that kill. Especially when he started trying to run. You don't run from Mustangs. You have to try and turn or energy fight Mustangs. I'd recommend energy fighting because Mustangs do that very poorly. But that means if you give up the energy advantage to a Mustang, the Mustang's won. It's just that simple, so don't do it. Most German planes will outclimb the Mustang. Even the A5 outclimbs the Mustang enough that, especially considering I was stock, but even if I wasn't stock, if an A5 can get above you, just never let a Mustang get above you. If a Mustang gets above you or gains the speed advantage in level flight, because that's what I did. I gained the speed advantage in level flight by turning up. I managed to convert it to altitude. So then we had even speed, I had altitude, and because of how I timed it, he was in front of me. In that situation, when the Mustang has an angle advantage and an energy advantage, at that point in time, assuming the Mustang pilot's half competent, the fight's pretty much over. There was things he could have done, but nothing that was at all certain at that point. So when you're in a Mustang, that's what you want to do. You want to try and wrestle the energy advantage away from the German plane you're fighting, and then use it to kill him. The one really good counterexample is the TA 152. The 152 can outdive the Mustang, meaning the 152 actually very well might not. The 152 has plenty it can do, even if the Mustang has altitude. But the 190, especially the early ones, the A5, the earliest one, it really is not fair having Mustangs fight it. Which is why I've stopped playing my 190 A5. Because my fully upgraded 190 A5, well, pretty much cannons, but they aren't that important. I've fought 7 battles in a row, all of which were losses, as you can clearly see. All of which were against P-51s and the American Spitfire. And the American Spitfire actually isn't that big a deal. I can deal with them in a 190 A5. 190 A5, low tier 3. This is a medium, well, it's low tier 5 by battle rank standards, but it's high tier 5 performance. Other than speed, it's not that fast, which is why I can deal with it in an A5, even though just barely, and it's difficult. The Mustang, on the other hand, trying to fight a Mustang in an A5, if the Mustang gets above you, you will lose. It's that, I mean, some of the later tier Germans have things it can do, but an A5 109 really just doesn't, which is why I don't understand. Why are these things running into the 109 A5s? I guess they're only a battle rank apart, but why is it so consistent? I hope I've just had really bad luck with the Germans and really good luck with the Americans, because the A5 shouldn't be fighting Mustangs regularly. It's just, that is just not fair for the A5s. I'm a stock, and I just slaughtered one, no problem. Well, I slaughtered 2, but 1 was landing. Anybody can shoot down a landing plane. So, that's my opinion on the current status of matchmaking between the Americans and the Germans. Long story short, it's gotten absolutely brutal, and I have no idea why. Hopefully that's just my bad luck. I really hope this isn't signs of the future state of German aircraft, because this is just not acceptable in my opinion. Well, I mean, it's not that bad when I'm flying the P-51. It's not that bad. I'd rather fight something that can fight back, but yeah, you know. At least the P-51 doesn't feel like crap anymore. It never did in realistic, in my opinion, but this plane has gotten properly good. Compared to the Germans, have been nerfed like crazy. So anyway, I hope you like this video. I'm sorry I've dragged on so long. Take care, have fun, and keep it in your pants.